Hello everyone and welcome to the Thanksgiving episode of SWAGourmet. I'm very thankful to all my viewers out there who've been tuning in, and especially thankful to those who participated in the online survey where you got to decide what I'm making on this Thanksgiving episode of SWAGourmet. The results are in, so today I'm going to be making glazed, roasted Cornish hens with a rice stuffing and pumpkin pie for dessert. Delicious, so let's start cooking. Alright, so as I was saying, today in this episode, in our Thanksgiving episode, we're going to be making roasted glazed Cornish hens with a rice stuffing and pumpkin pie for dessert. So what we're doing here is, your traditional Thanksgiving food, turkey and stuffing. Pumpkin pie for dessert, we're going to leave that traditional, but we're going to put spins on the turkey and the stuffing. So in place of our turkey, we're going to make Cornish hens, which if you're not familiar with them, are basically little chickens. Right? So that's going to be our entree, and to stuff it, we're going to put a spin on our traditional bread stuffing, so we're going to make a rice stuffing. So before we start all that, let's just go ahead and give a simple spice rub to our Cornish hens here. So I just have some salt and pepper, your basic swag seasonings, and in this I have some cinnamon and some cardamom. Now I'm sure you're familiar with cinnamon, but what cardamom is, it's an East Asian spice. It's kind of on the expensive side, so once you can find it at your local supermarket, but it'll serve you for a long time. Its flavor is really aromatic and kind of sweet too. So you use it in a lot of baking dishes for sweet, yet also savory. So it's really aromatic, has a great flavor. So it's going to be a really nice accent to put in our Cornish hens here. So I have some salt and pepper. I'm just going to sprinkle that on top of the Cornish hen, but then also inside of the cavity, like you do for a turkey. So sprinkle with some salt and pepper all around. Should cover all of it here. Hit it with some of the cinnamon and cardamom. Nice even coat all around. Pat it around too. It smells great, by the way. Really aromatic, that cardamom working with the cinnamon in there. Gonna really make our Cornish hens really tasty. Pat it on. And now, like I was saying, inside the cavity, I'm gonna open it up. Alright, swag. So now, I'm just gonna put it in the fridge and let this sit with the spice rub for as long as you have 2 hours minimum while we begin working on our stuffing. Alright, so we just sticked our Cornish hen in the fridge and we're going to start on our rice stuffing. And again, remember we're working with raw meat, so I went ahead and wiped down my counter with disinfectant wipes, so now we can start fresh. So we're going to be working on our rice stuffing, so what I have here, 3 cups of cooked rice, just white rice, any rice you have lying around. If you're more of a brown rice person, that'll work too. Now this rice is going to be so good, it can stand alone as a cold salad, and we're going to make sure we make enough that we can have our stuffing in our Cornish hen and also some on the side. So we have our 3 cups of white rice in here. Then I'm going to add 2 finely chopped tomatoes right to our rice. All right. Mix it up well. Then I'm going to add half a cup of diced red onion. So onions and tomatoes, pretty typical. And this is really pretty too. White rice, red tomatoes, red onions. Right, then once you mix that in well, we're going to add 1 bell pepper. I actually have half of 1 orange bell pepper and half of 1 red bell pepper. So together, 1 bell pepper, 2 different colors. It's fall, so make it look pretty like the leaves outside. Again, mix it up nicely. Then just to help bring it together, I have 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Just add that in. Continue mixing. Then I have half a cup of shredded carrots, again, just store-bought, really easy. It's your matchstick shredded carrots. Then, add 1/4 cup of chopped parsley, Italian flat leaf parsley. Great flavor, again, more colors, green this time. Smells good, looks good, tastes good. And then, since it's fall, and I want to add a little bit of sweet flavor in there, I have 1 diced apple. So, really sweet, yet great texture, popping with sweetness. And it's fall too. Apple's a great fall fruit. So I'm just going to add that in. That's 1 apple diced. Again, so beautiful. White rice, purple onions, red tomatoes, orange and red bell peppers, orange carrots, green parsley. Beautiful, just like fall. Then add your basic swag seasonings, a little bit of salt and pepper. And just for some heat, a little bit of cayenne pepper. You can add more if you like spicy foods, less if you're not a big fan of spicy foods. Mix that up. So beautiful. Smells so good too. It's gonna go right in the cavity of our Cornish hens. Yeah, we made so much that we're gonna have some to put on the side too. And this is enough to fill 4 Cornish hens, yet have some left over also. So these recipes serves 4 Cornish hens. Get plenty left over too. Alright, so now that we're all done with our rice stuffing, which will go inside of our Cornish hens and on the side, but you can also eat as a salad, I'm going to bring up my Cornish hens out of the refrigerator. Now in a perfect world, those would have been sitting in there for at least 2 hours, but I don't have that time right now. But at home, definitely do it for at least 2 hours. So I'm going to go get those Cornish hens so we can keep working with that with our stuffing also. Alright, so we grabbed our Cornish hen out of the fridge. So we have our stuffing here, which we just worked on. But a quick tip, if the red onions are too harsh for you, you can chop them, then let them soak in some cold water for around 10 minutes until they'll be a little weaker, so not as pungent onion flavor. But anyhow, we have our stuffing here. We can stuff into our Cornish hen, and we're gonna do that so we can stick it in the oven, and we can begin working on a glaze for our Cornish hen once the Cornish hen's in the oven. But let's go ahead and start by stuffing our stuffing. So, get a few tablespoons here into the cavity of our Cornish hen. Just going to put some spoonfuls in there. I'm going to take it out and put it on the side here so I don't contaminate the whole bowl. Make sure you get a lot of this stuffing in the cavity here. Yep, so stuff the last few spoonfuls in here. Alright, wonderful. So now, I'm just going to grab our pan so we can go ahead and lay it in it. Alright, so grab my pan. Just a baking pan like this one. Since I'm only doing one right now, this is the perfect size. If you have some string at home, you can tie up your Cornish hen. That'll be perfect. If not, no biggie. I'm not going to use any right now, so only if you have. So pick up my Cornish hen, lay it in my pan. Awesome. Now I have the oven set at 400 degrees, so we're going to stick that in, and we're going to begin working on our glaze, because we're going to glaze it periodically during the baking process. So I'm just going to stick this in the oven, wash my hands, and we can start working on that glaze.